to this parents' evening. So today now our objective is to, you know, to remind the about the Abrar schools, the complementary schools, objectives, and our plan of activities from this year onwards. Right? So, so basically, what we are trying to do is one of the first. We have actually got three objectives, right? We've got three objectives in this activity. So we are a complementary school. So that means when you say complementary, it's not the full school, obviously. So our children go to mainstream school education. So what we feel, why we say it's a complementary, is that education is not complete without we knowing the wahi, the revelation. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, why we are living on this phase of the earth, what's going to happen after our death, what is the purpose of all these creations, right? We need to answer these questions, isn't it? So without knowing these answers, just living in this world and dying, it doesn't make sense. So we need to know why. So that question, that why, is not answered in the mainstream education. The mainstream education gives education, we all learn that, about the contextual, matters and the science and, it could be geography, economics, or anything, politics. So they will teach all that. These are all very important for us to live in this world. 100%, we need that. So we need what the school teaches to our children, they need that 100%. But that is not a complete answer. So there's something missing in that education. So what is missing there is, in that education, they don't teach you, or they don't show the designer behind all this and the purpose of life, why we are here, what's going to happen after the death and all that. So that is either, one thing is they don't teach that, the second thing is they don't prepare for that. Right? But we know, as believers of Islam, we know that the fact is that we're all going to die, and there will be day of judgment, there will be resurrection, day of judgment, and we are accountable on this phase of our life is accountable, therefore we should prepare for that. So that's our belief and our faith. So we need to know that. We need to teach that to our children. So that is all these matters are mentioned in our text, that is the Quran. So what we learn in the school is the context. It's called context. Right? The context, what happens now on this phase of the earth, now. But that alone is not enough. So what we need to complement this is the text. The text is the Quran and Sunnah, Hadith. So they give context. The school, the complementary school, we give text, right? Text. The text is the Quran. Okay? So that education is needed, and we need to complement that with knowledge of the text. So we are trying to do that, knowledge of the text, in addition to the knowledge of the context. So when these come together, it becomes the knowledge. Right? So we need to give the knowledge. So we give children knowledge of the text, which is the Quran, and the knowledge of the context. Any school will teach this. Okay? So we are complementing. That's what our purpose. Okay. So now, when it comes to the text, text is the Quran, right? So we need to give the knowledge of the Quran. Simple as that. When it comes to the Quran, we give the Quran, and along with that, obviously, we give the Hadith, the Sunnah, the Seerah, all comes with that. But the main thing is the text. The text is the Quran. Okay. So, it is extremely important that for us to live in this world, right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed the Quran, and He's asking us, or speaking, Quran is not a book, right? It was never a book. When Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, during the period of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was not a book. It was never a book at that time. It was, it was an audio version. So that's the Quran, right? So this Quran is actually, it's a speech. Our Creator is speaking to us. What we are supposed to do? We listen. So when I speak to you, and if I ask you a question, what you are supposed to do? Listen and answer. But the problem is, we don't listen, we don't answer. But we recite and memorize, isn't it? We do that. Now, it is a shame that I'm, after 54 years, still don't know what is my Creator, His speech. He's speaking to me, but I'm not yet listening to that. Of course, I'm a student of the Quran, therefore now I am learning. So I know through Surah Al-Baqarah, He is speaking these stuff to me. Through Surah Al-Imran, He speaks to me these subjects. Through Surah Luqman, He teaches me these areas. Through Surah Nahl, He teaches me these areas. Now I am learning and I know what it is. There are 114 surahs through which Allah talks to us. But we have not listened to it yet. We have not responded to Him. If we have not, I can tell you that why we have not responded to Him. He is asking lots of questions, but we have not responded to Him yet. So it's a shame that it is like our oxygen, just like we breathe oxygen, we need to get connected to Allah through the Quran, listening to His speech and responding, which we are not doing. We are reciting, we are memorizing, full stop. Right? We don't know what we are reciting, most of us. Right? We have been reciting. But Allah doesn't say that the Quran is brought down to recite. He doesn't say that. But what does He say? I'll show you one. In Surah Yusuf, Allah says this, I think, right? I can tell you that. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. Indeed, we.
No,
Come.
he was waiting for you.
We are already here.
Okay.
Come. Right? Come.